Hello everybody and welcome back to Shamrock Valley. It is a very dark morning. It's still the spring, it's mid-spring, so yeah. 6 o'clock in the morning is still dark. Very soon though, it will be light at this time. I can't wait for it. So, yeah, we've got to basically go over to field number 37 again. We've got to finish off the drilling. It's not going to take us very long because we had almost finished it, but the rain yesterday did come down thick and fast and stopped us from doing it. So yeah, it's probably a matter of 5 minutes in the field and it will be finished. So let's just close the door. It is going to come light very quickly. So let's just jump into the Claas tractor. It should still be over here. It was such a brilliant setup we had going yesterday. Really impressed with it. We are going to use more workers though. I've seen a few people say, why don't you use more workers? You can get more fields done in a shorter period of time. And yes, we're going to, because I think if we don't do, we're going to struggle to actually get any fields done. Or to get many fields done. So let's pick this up. And that one should lift up further. There we go. That is the mistake I made yesterday. Hopefully it has dried out quite a bit because the rain was actually in the evening and it was dry most of the night. So yeah, it's actually been a fairly clear night and it's sunny now, so it's pretty good. We couldn't really ask for better weather. Let's put some beacons on and we'll head over to field number 37. It's quite a drive, although not as far as some of our fields. Like some of our fields, for example field 33, they're the other side of the map, and it's going to take some time to get there, but it's not really going to matter. It does still say the ground is wet, which isn't a good sign, but I think it's not going to be too restrictive on the drilling. We should be able to make a decision for ourselves. Okay, this is the turning just here, almost missed it. And it is the oilseed rape that we're putting in. Oh, look at the forecast. It's for rain again. It's turning out to be an incredibly wet spring, which might be troublesome. That is not good, actually. Yes, we're going to have to get some workers on the go, and if it means buying another drill or cultivator or something to get the work done, then yes, we'll have to. Now, as for the vote, which I put in the previous video, thank you to everybody who did vote, very useful, but Dynamic does seem to be the one that stands out, certainly at the time of recording this video, unless weirdly another one overtakes. But I think the best thing to do is to play with dynamic speed, but still have one episode per day. So what this will essentially do is make the episodes longer. First things first, let's put that down, and we put this down, switch that on, and that. I did have a few suggestions to put the hopper down as well. However, when I did that, weirdly, I did get some lag, which was a bit strange. I didn't really understand why it was doing that. So I'll keep it up at this stage. After all, it doesn't actually do anything to the crop in Farming Simulator. So yes, it can just stay on the tractor without riding on the ground. Right, so that is all going really well. We've managed to finish field 37 and we're now into field number 3. The only problem is we now need to top up the hopper with some more seed. I could bring it back to the yard, but then that would mean taking it off a worker. I've now got it set up. So yes, I think the easiest thing to do is to take a pallet of seed over to it. Now my intention is actually to put a front loader on this fairly small international tractor. I think we can just do one at a time, or we could put them in the pickup, which is part of just here. We don't necessarily need to keep the pickup. As I've said before, we might replace it with a Hilux, which is also a pickup, or the Ford Transit. Both are good, so I'm not too sure. But we'll definitely make a decision in the future, depending on what we think is going to be the best option. Now, the colour. This is always a tough one. Is that the right shade of red? Again, we can change it, but it's just another expense. I've got it wrong. I've definitely got that wrong. So what we'll do is... Actually, I probably should have taken it to the workshop first, because we need the front loader attacher. Yes, so here we go. This is the workshop. Let's just open the door up. It's a very big one, actually. It's really nice. Let's just fit this brand new front loader bracket to it. And then we can obviously use the front loader, take some seed over to the hopper, which is on the front of the tractor, and then we can come back here and respray it. Seems strange buying a front loader and then respraying it straight away, but yes, unfortunately I chose the wrong colour. Okay, so yeah, what we want to do is go for Giants well, the Giants front loader, Giants is, yeah, there we go. That should be, oh my goodness me. I suppose the only benefit to this is we can actually see exactly how the front loader bracket was fitted. Very nice, but slightly unusable. It gets worse. You don't even want to know how I got here. Good. So we have the front loader bracket attached. What we now need to do is obviously go and attach the front loader to it, and we need to buy a pallet fork. I think we'll just go with the standard pallet fork because we actually do use the CSZ pack quite a bit. Fantastic for the bell spikes, but really a pallet fork is a pallet fork. I suppose somebody could argue that, but really for what we're going to use it for, all we need is the cheapest pallet fork we can get our hands on. Now obviously if the CSZ pallet fork is cheaper, we'll go for it. If not, then yeah, standard base game one. It really doesn't matter. So £800, I think that's going to be pretty tough to beat. Yeah, 2649 and then 3973. We probably have one. Oh, we don't. Okay, well that's fine. No need to customise the colour. I'll only get it wrong anyway, so yeah, absolutely no point at all. And of course we need to buy a pallet or a bag of seed. Now these fields obviously haven't been fertilised yet. This doesn't matter because we are going to fertilise them later. Some of the fields I'm going to spread slurry on before we drill, but obviously it's a bit of a rush now to get the fields drilled, but thankfully it turns out we have more grass fields than arable fields, and really we're not doing too badly. I thought we were much further behind than what we are, but no, it's gone very well. Seed bag, £900. Sorry, that is a very, very good point. It's not pounds, it's in fact euros. There we go. Sorry it took me until episode 3 to work that out, but yeah. I read the comments and I knew perfectly well that it was euros, but yeah, it's just a case of making sure I do that. And obviously I didn't make sure I did it. There we go. So, we have 1,000 litres. It looks like it's currently buying it as it goes, which isn't good. I don't want it to do that. I'd much prefer to actually take it over to it. If it turns out we need loads of seed, we'll have to get a little trailer or the pickup. But I don't know. I don't know what the capacity is. We'll soon find out. And after all, the field isn't very big, so it doesn't need to be full. You know, it doesn't need to be 100%. It just needs to have enough. Now regarding the field which we did the cultivating in, look at that maniac. Yeah, the field which we did the cultivating in, that is going to be potatoes. So obviously we don't want to be using this particular drill. We need a potato planter for that. And again, it's not going to be spread with slurry or with fertilizer, because what I'm aiming to do is use the irrigator, which although is water, acts as fertilizer in FS17. So yeah, it's going to be a good system, providing I can get it to work. I've tried it before and failed, but I have found an updated link, so hopefully if all goes to plan, it is going to work. That's an unusual approach, I have to say, but at least it's doing something, I suppose. Let's just turn off the option for it to buy the seed and the fuel and the fertilizer. Off! Everything off. There we go. Right. Hopefully it will fold back the cover and we can just fill it up. Nice. That is a good system. Perfect. And looking at that, it's gone quite a long way. We can see that it is 82% full. So yes, one pallet has gone a long way. That is good. We're now going to move on. We're going to paint the front loader. It didn't put the cover back over it. Good job it's not raining yet. And then we're going to look at field number 1, which is the cultivated field. Ooh, there's a car. Despite this only being episode 3, I just want to say thank you and well done to Oxygen David, because it's just a brilliant map, isn't it? It's so good, so detailed, so well made, and there's just nothing that I could just instantly think of and say, well, that could have been better. Nothing at all. That always just proves it's a good map. Because I know that some people say, even in the comment section, say, oh, that's not very good, that could have been done better. Never seen it for this map, not actually seen it I don't think for any of Oxygen David's maps, or Bullet Bill's maps for that matter, and others too. It would have been the pallet fork. I wish there was a scroll button, a next button, so you could go to the next object which is in the box, but you can't do, which is a bit of a shame. Which means we have to reattach it, pull forward, drop off the pallet fork. And I suppose we could actually try it with it attached. It does sometimes work, but as we know what happened last time, it's probably not advisable. Customise, right. Second time lucky. It's got to be this colour. It's costing us €200 at a time, so please. Unless there isn't an exact match for case or international. There might not be. Although, that looks very good. Yes, that has got to be the colour. Perfect, so we'll put the pallet fork back on again. We might need to take another bag over to the seeder. I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to have to, but we might do. So, yeah. Let's just park that here. Right, so we actually do have another seed drill. I think I put it through here. It should still be attached to a tractor. There we go, the TW5. It's not for field number 1, which I mentioned, which we are going to go to, but it does allow us to plant wheat, barley, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish, and grass. So if we do, you know, get a bit short of time, we can get another drill on the go. The disadvantage of this one is obviously that it doesn't have the subsoiler, so it won't class it as being ploughed. It is just a drill with some discs in front, so like a cultivated disc, I suppose. A cultivated drill, it would be called. The Kuhn Espro 3000. Is that a direct drill? I'm not entirely sure. We've got to check this out. Let's take a look. It is. So again, it has its own benefits. Potatoes can be planted at 5 degrees, but with it being a root crop, I think I will just wait and make sure it is ready to be planted. It is actually in the safe zone here, but I think it's 4 degrees. It is, it's 4 degrees. I'm 99% sure there won't be a problem, but I don't want to risk it, especially as we have other fields to plant. So what we're going to do is probably go and help the other worker in field number 3. I can't really see the point in going to another field before this field is finished, especially as there's quite a bit of tidying up to do. So before I forget, let's just double check the seed type. Wheat, yep, it is doing wheat, so that's fine. We'll fill this to the top. None of our drills have got fertiliser being applied at the same time, but actually I don't want them to, because we do have the slurry for that prior to drilling. Not this time, but next time we will do. We also have to spread slurry on all of our grass fields, so that is going to be quite time consuming, and I might have to invest in a container or a tanker. Obviously with the container we have to have a tanker, so yeah, it's one or both basically. Just a tanker, or a tanker and a container. I think really we could get away with just a tanker, it's just I do like using the container and I want to use the hose mod as well. So yeah, there's definitely benefits for it. So forget field number 1, we won't do it today, we'll do it next time. And yes, I'm pretty sure it does need to be fertilised as well, so we'll use the irrigator for that. Love these tractors, this Ford mod pack, very well done. Shame we can only do 18 miles per hour though. I suppose that is true to life, it must only be able to do that. It's actually a different one to what I usually use, it's only the TW5. I tend to use the TW25 or TW30 or something, so yeah, it's a different one to normal. But I do like a bit of variety. There it is. It's making it look like a big job. I didn't think it was that big of a field, but yeah, it's definitely achieving something there. Oh, 6 degrees air temperature. We'll be in t-shirts. I don't know what it is, but I always think it looks good having 2 tractors working in the same field. Does anybody else find that? It could just be me. It wouldn't be the first time. But when you just look across and you just see 2 tractors working, I suppose it's the sight of progress. Things are being achieved. I'm going to do the headland, well, the not so headland, which is managing to leave, but I'll try and get it to go as far down there as possible first. We'll finish up here, and then we'll try and do it, but I don't know why it's doing it. That's the exact reason why I went round 3 times, so it wouldn't get confused, but lo and behold, it's got confused. I've had some really good comments and positive comments about the Fiat tractor which we have. Many people saying that I underestimate it, like it could be on the drill or the plough or subsoil or something, and yeah, I suppose I do. When you listen to its engine, it sounds very powerful, but I suppose what I've done is I've based it on its physical size, and it's not small, but it's not massive. I really should stick it on something a bit more challenging. I suppose it could be doing this job, but even this isn't too hard work. It's a fairly long drill, but it isn't very wide. It's only longer because it's a direct drill. Now I know that some of this field is not going to be classed as ploughed, but I'm only doing the tidying up areas, so really it's a nominal amount, it's not really going to matter. As you've probably noticed, I am trying to get as many fields drilled as possible, because I don't want to do too many episodes of the same thing. That is the thing with seasons. If you're doing it as a Let's Play, there is going to be a bit of repetition. Some people love it, other people don't, so just to really cater to everybody, what I'm doing is trying to cram as much of each job into the same episode, and yeah, that way it should stay much fresher and we do something different every time. Well, that is looking much better. It's now just completing the lower section of the field, and then we'll be moving on. I like it though, the dynamic time is good. Playing it ×5 at some stages, and ×15. The rain is on the way, so that has actually saved us. We've managed to get more done before the rain once again arrives. It's going to be a very, very wet spring. I was playing the new update for Euro Truck Simulator 2, with the Crone trailers which I've got. Very, very good. What I'm hoping to do is make some videos, make some Let's Plays of that. What I'm actually waiting for is Trucker's MP to update. I don't know when it's going to, because obviously it has to update to be compatible. And I was hoping to do some multiplayer, because I absolutely love multiplayer. ETS2 with multiplayer is so much better than single player, even though single player is still very good. So yeah, as soon as it's out, or very soon after, I'll get some videos produced, and we can use the brand new Crone trailers on the updated Euro Truck Simulator. It's all very good. And I know that a lot of people have been asking for ETS2 for a very long time, so it is coming back. One very interesting thing about multiplayer over single player is anything could happen. It's all very unexpected, so when I start recording a video, I wouldn't necessarily know, I wouldn't know what's going to happen in that Let's Play. I've had some very weird things happen in multiplayer. Lorries randomly overtaking and then flipping over right in front of me. Others catching the back of my trailer, flipping my cab over. Oh, sometimes it's chaos, but there are some very amusing moments. So it's definitely worth playing in multiplayer. And I will be doing as soon as it's ready. But yeah, I don't know when, because obviously it's must be quite a bit of work to get it all compatible again. Oh, the current weather icon has just updated to rain. Right, so what I wanted to show you is the field which we did before, field number 37. As you can see, it's all canola, it's green. And if we go onto here, you can see it's growing, and it no longer requires ploughing. It does need fertiliser, but that's already 10%. Because we had the subsoiler on, so that's really good. As for this field here, you can see the bits that I have covered, and also the bits which haven't been done yet. But yeah, the majority is going to be all done with that Worker J tractor. So the current situation, we've done field 37, technically we've done field 3. Field number 1 will be potatoes, leaving for arable fields 38 and 9. Possibly another one, which I'm overlooking, but yeah, I think there's only 2. Most of our fields are grass. Actually, field number 12 may well be canola or something, or sugar beet. Well, let's just take a look here. It's yeah, it's definitely arable. What did it used to be? Yeah, sugar beets. Very small field though, so we can do that at the same time as number 9. And actually, what we might do, if there's no hedge here, there might be a hedge, is join them together. Yep, I would say that is a hedge. It's a very low one, but there is one. So that's fine, not to worry. 2 individual fields. Look at that view though. I think you can make out the cliffs over there, which look a bit like Sandy Bay. But that's a good thing. I absolutely love Sandy Bay. And the map itself is a completely different layout. I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. So let's head back to the yard, unless that's going to finish off with that piece there. I want to get the Fiat tractor pumping the slurry again, ready for next time. And we probably should check up on the cows and the sheep, and also, yeah, we need to figure out which fields are going to be hay and silage, because we need to make a lot of silage. Because this is seasons, we need to make all of the feed for the winter. It's not like a Let's Play where we can just lay back and relax as such, because we have to make sure the animals don't die. Like in a normal series, if the animals didn't have enough feed or water, they would just become unproductive. In this series, they actually do die. They reduce in numbers. Right, you can stop. Put the cover over. So yes, we need to have plenty of silage for the winter, plenty of grass for the summer, and plenty of hay for all year round. And straw, but that's different really. That is more for bedding, and also it's from the combine harvester, not from the grass. Right, this could be fun. Ugh, that car was not there before. Luckily, the Claas tractor is hanging back. In fact, if I go in here, crush some of these Christmas trees, or fir trees, or whatever they want to be called, I will make sure you can get round. Yeah, I think that car is letting it go. Possibly. Either that, or it's just wanting to crash into it. There we go. So yeah, because it's the Claas which is following us with a fairly wide cultivator, we need to make sure that we leave enough space. So we need to really tuck into the left-hand side. Otherwise it is going to be taking out some cars, although the cars in FS these days are completely solid. So actually it would be the cars taking out the tractor. I think that's the only thing which has gone downhill since FS 11? 9? There was certainly a push-aroundable in 09. Not too sure about 11. And yeah, push-aroundable probably wasn't the best way of describing it. We're all caught up again. It is tough. Yeah, I have been told before to possibly keep the traffic switched off when doing this, and I think I saw somebody mention there was going to be an update for traffic anyway, so I might keep it off for some of the time, but obviously not all the time, because it looks good. If we're doing like a convoy or something, it's best switched off. Okay, so here we are back at the farm. What I'm going to do is reverse this into the shed where it came from. It's a really good place for it. And actually, we could keep all of the drills in there, it's just a case of getting them round here. So if I stop that worker before it crashes into everything, I might, with a bit of skill, get it into that shed. Let's get those beacons off. Okay, it's taking the cover off because it's near to the refill point. My plan is to reverse it all right in. I'm not going to sell the plough because I think that plough is actually a fairly good size for the map. As for the mower, yeah, that'll be going. Because we're going to be doing quite a bit of grass cutting. Okay, I'm going to take this off because I don't think we're going to be using that again this year. Sounds weird to say that, but I want to mostly have the subsoiler going as well, which is obviously the other drill. So there we go, let's put this tractor in here. I think that's actually a pretty good tractor store. We might even be able to get 2 in each bay if we're very lucky. The International will fit in here, because that is fairly small. Right, so now for this contraption. It doesn't want to be put away and taken off and everything, it just wants to be parked up. Who threw that gold up there? It's very careless. Okay, that's not going to fit. I think I'll just keep it here. I'll refill it and put the cover over, ready for the next day. So let's just lower that and lower that and put the cover over the hopper, and we're done. Very nice. Over to the Fiat, let's get it pumping. There's not going to be any time before this rain to spread any slurry, but we can certainly prepare it ready. As for these, the seed drill is going to go, that's going to go, and that might go. I'm not too sure at this stage. I think it will do though, because we have a much better trailer, much bigger one. Okay, the fantastic Fiat. Let's refill. I'm going to look into the pricing of the slurry container, because I really do think it's going to be worth it. Slurry tanks. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Because what we don't want is something like this. It would be brilliant, but it's just way too big for the roads. So having the small high-spec tanker with these two would be a much better option. Obviously the roads are still pretty tight for an articulated lorry, but even so, I think we can do it if we stick to the main roads. Okay, that is full. So I'm going to turn around ready. We will reverse into the bay, into the Dutch barn there. And then, first thing we're going to do next time is spread this on a field. We've done field number 2. That's completely finished. And yeah, it just wants to be probably a case of working from the top. So I'd have thought 7, 5, 4. I think 6 is the sheep field, so we don't want to be spreading slurry on there. But we'll just, as we drive past each field, take a look and we'll find out. As for the animals, let's just double check on their condition and see how they're doing. I'm hoping they're doing very well. Perfect. Very, very good. But the slurry is filling up and it needs to go. We're going to buy this. I absolutely love this pack, of this MAN TGS Agro Truck Pack. Fantastic. We don't need to go for anything over the top, so we're going to keep the lowest spec engine, because it is only going to pull a tanker, although it is going to be pulling it uphill, which will be quite tough. But even so, we should be able to do it. So I'm going to go with, it's 4x4 is standard. I'm thinking if we do 6x6, I know I did say we'll keep it fairly cheap and standard, but I think really, as it's going to be going on fields, that might be the best option. The rim colour can stay as it is. Added lights, it's just too tempting. I can't help myself. And the design, will probably try and keep it in our colour scheme, although as a class colour it might not look amazing. Let's just see here. I love the class green, but probably not on a truck. We could just stick with white, I suppose. It is cheaper, and we can paint it later. Yeah, we'll stick with white. Okay, so here it is. Basically, what I need to do is figure out exactly how to use the hoses. But to begin with, I've got a full load of slurry. This is using the Farming Simulator 17 Slurry Pack, which is a mod. It's on ModHub. The first thing I'm trying out here is obviously just filling up the slurry container, which I don't even want to keep here because this is the cow field. I'm just basically learning, because it is the first time I've ever used the mod. So if I can just position that as close as I can do. It's amazing, it looks close, but actually I think that's quite a distance off. It does say, I think it said about ½ a metre. So I need to get that spot on. There we go, that's brilliant. Okay, so switch on slurry tanker. So there we go, that's working. Need to make sure I use the overload instead of just the standard unload. But that is working very well. I don't actually want much in here, so I'm going to stop it there. I am just playing around, giving it a go, and then next time, when I've figured out how to use the pipes and everything, we should be able to have a really good slurry spreading session, and obviously we can use the tanker and the pipe. I don't know if we need the pipes actually, because we've got the overload pipe instead. So despite it not being empty, what I'm going to do is put the pipe in, and I've just bought this docking station, which I'm still in the process of figuring out. Don't worry, I'm going to try and figure it all out before the next episode. But I'm assuming it is for slurry tanks like what we have here, where there isn't actually a fitting for the pipe. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it's just my guess. I've just put it there. I might be totally wrong. But as we have the overload pipe anyway, we may not require it. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to now practice and try and get everything perfected for next time. And until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.